Hello, I'm Narelda Jacobs.
And that makes me Tim Gossage.
And we're here for a special edition of 10 Eyewitness News. It's Rotto swim time again, which means you need all the critical news so that you can all have a safe and successful crossing to Rottnest.
But before you hear more from us, here's Michael Schultz to give us a weather update.
I'd love to tell you the weather for both the Karma Resorts Rottnest Channel Swim and the Champions of the Channel is going to be fine, with a light easterly, 28 degrees and a water temperature of 24. But instead, I'm going to tell you that you can't worry about the weather. Unfortunately, the event organisers have no control over it, and neither do you. Regular weather forecasts will be provided on the event website, and you can check back with me a couple of days before on 10 News. I should be able to give you a better idea of what's happening then. Now, in saying that, the weather is unpredictable, so the race committee will not make a decision until the morning of the event. If the weather's unsuitable or conditions are likely to deteriorate, the event may be cancelled. Now, this has only happened once in the swim's 25-year history. Should the event be cancelled, swimmers are not to disregard the decision. To do so would be a material breach of the swim rules and may lead to sanctions. The only reason the event would be cancelled is because it's unsafe to proceed. An SMS message will be sent between 4 a.m. and 4:30 a.m. to advise whether the event is a go or a no-go. This will be sent to the skipper and the team captain. It will also be broadcast on the race channel VHF 77. Please note there'll be no refund if the event is cancelled, but entrants will be offered a guaranteed entry into the swim in 2017. That's all on the weather front.
Thanks, Schultzy. Long-distance open water swimming is inherently risky. While the event organisers work hard to mitigate risks, it is up to everyone to make safe and sensible decisions. Consider your own risks and think about how you can mitigate these, and if the risk occurs, what your response will be. The skipper of your vessel is the boss and has the ultimate authority on everything to do with the swim. They are responsible for all of your team, including swimmers, paddlers and crew, and each team member needs to know and accept this.
Swimmers should be well conditioned for distance swimming and have prepared for the race adequately. Part of the preparation should be to replicate race day situations. For example, if you're a solo, practice feeding while treading water. Eat the same food you intend to eat on race day, swim with your paddler, practice your communication, practice swimming on the windward side of your paddlecraft and support boat. Try swimmer changeovers if you are a duo or team. Paddlers should also be well prepared. Now, this includes entering the ocean on your paddlecraft from the beach. Skippers need to ensure their boat complies with the Department of Transport's marine safety regulations. The boat must be licensed to carry all passengers, including those in the water. All support boats must carry all the required minimum safety equipment, including extra life jackets to accommodate your swimmers and paddlers, and must have a working VHF radio. Vessels must be in current registration, be properly insured, including liability. Display the correct navigational lighting between sunset and sunrise, and the master of the vessel must hold at least a recreational skipper's ticket or an RST. Make sure everyone in the team has read the yearbook and understands what the go is on race day, and pay particular attention to the information pertaining to safety. Your swimsuits will be checked and they must comply with the event rules. If your swimsuit doesn't comply or you are wearing multiple suits illegally, you can still swim. However, the swim won't be recognised by the association. Before race day, arrange for a clear meet plan with your paddler and vessel. For example, are you going to meet on the north side or south side? Will you each display something recognisable to help each of you quickly identify one another? Have you discussed an ETA? If you have any medical conditions, check in with your GP to make sure your condition is stable and you're fit to swim. If you take medication, make sure you have this with you on the event day, and consider what you need to take beforehand, especially Ventolin for asthmatics and EpiPens for those with allergies. Let your team know what is required and what assistance they may need to provide if you become symptomatic. Pack your stuff the night before the event, ensuring you have plenty of fresh water and sun protection for everyone on board and in the water, multiple towels and also spare pairs of goggles.
Preparation really is the key, and that takes us to event day. Skippers, as soon as you hit the water, make sure your marine radio is turned on and switch to the dedicated race channel, VHF channel 77. Keep the volume up throughout the day. As you are responsible for your swimmers, paddlers and crew, it is important we can communicate with you, and equally you need to be able to communicate with us. This is important for race-related issues and safety and other medical matters. Support boats are to remain at least 1,000 metres from the shore. There are buoys set on both the north and south side of the channel, which mark the boundary. Support boats can wait anywhere beyond that and cannot proceed towards the swim channel until the boat coordinator calls forward your swimmer's wave. This will happen via the race channel VHF 77. The starting swimmer needs to arrive at Cottesloe with sufficient time to sign on, which should be at least 45 minutes before the start of their wave. Neither swimmers nor paddlers can be delivered to the beach by boat. We highly recommend you get a lift to the beach. Parking at Cottesloe on event morning is difficult. All solos will need to register, and the starting swimmer from duos or teams need to sign on at the registration tents where they can collect their timing straps. The non-starting duo and team members should be waiting in the support boat off Cottesloe. Swimmers need to move to the start line 10 minutes before the start of their wave. Paddlers may enter from the north or south and should enter the water 5 to 10 minutes before the start of their swimmer's wave. The hooter will sound and swimmers are off.
Now the next part is one of the most stressful parts of the day, the meet plan. Make sure you all stick to your meet plan. Remember, are they waiting for you on the north or south? Are you spotting them or are they spotting you? What differentiates you from others? Swimmers may only meet up with their paddler after the 500 metre yellow buoys, not before. Once the swimmer and paddler are united, the next step is finding the boat. Remember to have that meet plan down pat. Boats cannot enter the channel until the 1,000 metre red buoys. You have from this mark until the 1,500 metre Icon vessel, the Lewin sail training ship, for swimmers and boats to unite. If you still cannot find your swimmer or support boat and a reasonable time has passed, please proceed to the Icon vessel, which is located at the 1,500 metre mark. If you are the skipper, notify Channel Swim Base so that race officials can assist in finding your swimmer. All swimmers must be accompanied by a support boat and must not swim beyond 1,500 metres if unaccompanied. Swimmers must tread water until their support boat arrives and may wait there for up to 20 minutes. There will be officials at the Lewin helping unite you with your vessel. If you haven't located your support boat by this time, you will be taken back to Cottesloe and recorded as did not finish. In 2010, one soloist got to the Icon vessel and couldn't locate his support boat. Sadly, his skipper had slept through his alarm. Remember, paddlers enter at the 500 metres, boats enter at 1,000 metres and must find their boat before 1,500 metres. Now everyone has united, the skipper has the absolute responsibility for everyone on the boat, as well as their swimmer and paddler. The skipper will appoint a spotter, who is his 2IC, and a second set of eyes for the skipper. As the skipper, you will be personally or via your spotter watching your swimmer. Are they in close proximity? Are they following the event rules? Are they well? It is absolutely critical to understand that while you, as the skipper, are only responsible for your swimmer, paddler and crew, you need to look out for all swimmers. Swimmers are vulnerable and they place a lot of trust in not just their own skipper, but all skippers on race day. Swimmers have the right of way. If they aren't well, you may need to make the decision to pull your swimmer out. Swimmers, you need to wholeheartedly trust your skipper and understand if they need to pull you out, it is for your own safety. Skippers, paddlers and support crew, if your swimmer is hypothermic, knowing your swimmer and their style and stroke could save their life. The yearbook provides information about how to prevent, detect and treat hypothermia. We also have some short videos that you can watch to provide more information.
After the support boat has met up with the swimmer and paddler, it's time to make your way to the island. We have two sets of buoys, one to mark the Rum Line, the most direct route to Thomson Bay, and one to mark the northern boundary. If you're going to use GPS coordinates to map the route, we suggest you use the Rum Line coordinates. The northern boundary markers are there simply as that, a boundary. This boundary marks the start of the ferry channel and rescue corridor. Therefore, you must stay south of these buoys at all times. The rescue corridor is the area from the northern boundary buoys and 10 metres north of this. If you require assistance, radio Channel Swim Base and they may ask you to go to the rescue corridor. This will help the rescue crew find you. To enhance safety on the day, there are a few new rules for the 2016 swim. If your support boat is larger than 10 metres in length or you have a yacht of any size, you're required to stay to the north or south edge of the fleet, to the extremities of the fleet, subject to the northern boundary. This means if you're on the north side, you may in fact be closer to the boundary buoys than the rum line buoys. All yachts, as well as powerboats, 10 metres or greater in length, must have a registered tender and may use them to put your swimmers closer to the rum line. Just a heads up, the skipper of your tender must also have their RST. Within half a nautical mile, that's 900 metres for all you land lovers, of the rum line, there is a speed limit of 6 knots. This rule does not apply to official vessels.
There are some on-water protocols you need to be aware of. If a swimmer or someone on your boat becomes unwell and requires medical attention, for example severe hypothermia, contact Channel Swim Base and await further instructions. Fremantle Volunteer Sea Rescue Group can get a doctor to you within minutes. If necessary, they can get a patient to Fremantle and hospital much faster than you can. Think of it as an on-water ambulance. If you have a swimmer or crew member who is unwell and is assessed as non-urgent, for example, they are seasick, you have the option of having them taken to Fremantle or Rottnest by a rescue boat. If you want to be transported to cover only the additional resources and expenses, your team will be billed $150 post-swim. It is the responsibility of the team captain to ensure this is paid. If you see a shark, radio Channel Swim Base on VHF channel 77. Your radio should be on this channel anyway. State the details of the sighting, approximate location on the swim course, and if you can, take a note of your GPS coordinates. Channel Swim Base will give further instructions. In the event that a shark is sighted, CSB will deploy vessels to investigate. If the sighting is of high risk, then skippers of vessels within a specified radius will be ordered to remove their swimmer from the water immediately. If there is a shark attack, the event will be abandoned. When using the radio on event day, your call sign is your race number. For example, race number 100. Ensure the volume is turned up during the whole event. Give way to ships at all times, including ferries. Ships shouldn't be moving through the channel on race day. However, if there are, skippers will be advised of shipping movements during the day via radio. Again, have that radio turned on and volume up. If you need to withdraw from the event, your skipper must inform Channel Swim Base via radio and timing straps must be returned. You can return to Fremantle Volunteer Sea Rescue Group Radio Tower in Fremantle or the help desk at Rottnest. This is how we account for swimmers, so please make sure you do this. Don't be a turkey sitting at home watching 10 Eyewitness News at 5 o'clock with your timing strap still on your ankle.
There are some key event rules you need to familiarise yourself with and adhere to. You need to reach the red marker buoys by the prescribed cut-off times. They're set at 10 kilometres, 15 kilometres, 18 kilometres, 19 kilometres and 19.25 kilometre marks. This year are trialling tandem solos and applies to those who have chosen to share a support boat. We have some additional rules they need to adhere to. Swimmers need to swim within close proximity of each other, meaning they need to swim at the same pace. Close proximity means within the range 10 to 20 metres. Each swimmer must have their own paddler. If one tandem solo swimmer is slower than the other, the faster swimmer must slow their pace to meet their speed. Alternatively, either solo swimmer may choose to withdraw. If a tandem solo swimmer becomes unwell and requires medical assistance, causing the boat to have to stop, the other tandem solo swimmer must either tread water until the boat is able to proceed or withdraw from the event. One of the most critical race-related rules, particularly for solos, pertains to non-assistance. Swimmers cannot touch anything or use anything that aids flotation. For solos, this means when receiving food or fluids, your team must throw these items to you in a good plastic container or on the end of a paddle. Changeovers for duos and teams need to be done at least 10 metres from the support boat, and swimmers must make contact above the water. Single-engine boats must place their engines in neutral and twin-engine boats must switch engines off. This is the risk of not following this rule. A risk you do not want to take. One of the golden rules of the event is do not go astern. Swimmers are extremely vulnerable, so it is important that you do not reverse. No excuse will be entertained and there will be no second chance. Moving your boat astern will mean a very early finish for your team. Just to clarify, do not go astern. Drafting is against the race rules and the spirit of the event. Drafting is where the swimmer is following directly behind the paddle craft within a boat length or another swimmer. Skippers are not permitted to consume or be affected by alcohol during the event. Race officials, compliance personnel and medical personnel are empowered to disqualify any entrant whose skipper breaches this rule. How else can you be disqualified? No stickers, no swim cap, north of northern boundary. Follow the rules and you'll be fine. We want everyone to be safe and to finish. All event rules can be found in the yearbook and on the event website. Have a read through before event day to avoid breaking them. The race official vessels will have yellow signs on either side and the referees will be wearing green shirts. It's important for your own safety that you follow their instructions at all times. Race referees enforce race day rules and can ask a swimmer to leave the water because of a missed cutoff, for example. In addition to race officials, medical and compliance personnel are authorised to enforce event rules. This includes medical personnel advising a swimmer to pull out. A team or duo can replace that swimmer. The whole team doesn't have to cross the finish line. A solo directed to stop swimming has, however, unfortunately finished their attempt. If the advice is ignored, the swimmer, team or duo will be disqualified and their swim not recorded. Medical staff will not make this call lightly, so please listen to their direction, as it is for the welfare of the swimmer.
As you get closer to Rottnest Island, the fleet will start funnelling and it can become congested. All swimmers and paddlers must enter Thompson Bay through the 18-kilometre Phillip Rock Gate. Yachts, as well as powerboats that are 10 metres or greater, must leave their swimmer and paddler and proceed to their pre-arranged post-race location. Either a registered tender or paddler must accompany the swimmer for the next kilometre. Powerboats that are less than 10 metres may also leave at this point. However, the same conditions will apply. Swimmers must be accompanied by either a registered tender or paddler. No support boats are allowed beyond the 19-kilometre mark. By this point, they must have peeled off and left their swimmer or swimmers to finish the race. When support boats leave the race, either peel off to the north or south and stay there. Don't cross back over the swim channel. Similarly, be aware of Inner Kingston Reef, as boats have come off second best with the reef in previous years. Paddlers will accompany their swimmers for a further 250 metres and will depart at the 19.25 kilometre Rottnest Express buoys to the south only. Please consider this in your planning. Paddlers can only leave to the south of the channel. Swimmers will then complete the final 400 metres accompanied only by general safety personnel.
The process as you approach Rottnest Island. The green section is the swim channel. This means that these moorings will be closed during the event. Swimmers will swim down the black arrowed line and land at the finish line just south of the fuel jetty. There's only an area south for paddlecraft. The paddlecraft area will be located right where the old finish line was. There is no time limit, however, paddlecrafts must be removed by 5 p.m. You'll also note that the Rottnest Island Authority has allocated a competitor boat-only area just north of the fuel jetty. This will work on a first-in, first-served basis. You must have a Karma Resorts Rottnest Channel Swim boat sticker and a suitably sized boat to be able to anchor here. This area should be able to hold about 50 boats. For the safety of all competitors in the event, we ask that you respect all closures. With regard to moorings, you need either a licensee red or authorised user yellow sticker issued by the RIA, and you can only moor your boat to moorings with a disc the same colour as the top left corner of your sticker. The aqua blue coloured Rottnest annual admission sticker does not authorise you to use a mooring. Further, please do not raft up boats on moorings, tying multiple boats alongside each other. The Rottnest Island Authority Rangers will be patrolling these areas to ensure compliance. Fines apply for incorrect mooring use. Other important information you need to be aware of: no beach anchoring between the fuel and hotel jetties between 6 p.m. on Friday to 6 p.m. on Saturday. Tenders are only permitted in demarcated areas. There will be no fuel available from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. Unleaded and diesel fuel will be available after 5 p.m. Loading zones available for a maximum of 20 minutes on the T jetty, the hotel jetty and Geordie Bay jetty. Swimmers do not need to pay admission fees. Non-swimmers, however, do need to pay their admission fees. You're able to purchase this here tonight or via their website at rottnestisland.com. Remember, your admission fees power Rottnest. As you'd expect, accommodation is fully booked. It's against the Rottnest Island Authority regulations to remain on the island without designated accommodation. And it's important not to forget general housekeeping. Be safe, be friendly and courteous. Plan ahead and respect and look after your island.
The finish area will remain just south of the fuel jetty in front of the Dome Cafe. Swimmers will arrive at the beach and make their way up and over the ramp. Please don't run up the ramp. We don't want to see you slip. There are handrails to hold and volunteers to assist if needed. Once you are in the finish line enclosure, volunteers will remove your timing strap. You can grab some water and bask in your achievements for a little while, and then you can make your way through the sign-off tent. If you aren't feeling too well after the swim, visit the medical tent located at the finish line. It is what they're there for. You have the choice of exiting immediately, or you can line up to get your photo taken. Prize packs for solos and category prize winners are to be collected from the spectator side of the finish line. Duo and team prize winners will be sent text messages, and category prizes can be collected between 2 and 5 p.m. So make sure you have your phone on. Ensure you refuel your body with appropriate nutrition. At 5 p.m, all solos need to return to the finish line for the annual soloist photo. Being in this photo is more prestigious than owning the number plates, so don't miss out. Please use your phone sparingly on Rottnest, as the phone towers often get congested and communication can be difficult.
Well, Goss, that almost wraps up this special edition of 10 Eyewitness News.
Yeah, absolutely, Narelda. There's a lot to think about when participating in the Karma Resorts Rottnest Channel Swim as a skipper, swimmer or paddler. It's a high-risk event that needs to be prepared for appropriately.
Speaking from personal experience, it is well worth the effort. It's an event I love and have been involved with for many years. Now, we want you to have a great day and arrive at Wadjamup safely.
We wish you well as you prepare for the spectacular world-class event, the Karma Resorts Rottnest Channel Swim. I'll see you at the start.
Good luck.